because it's just been going sideways for such a long time, and every freaking pump gets sold into. Like it's crazy how pumps in QANX get sold into. There was a massive news item released, and that's kind of why we got this little pump. Let me show you it. Quan platform. This was the news item. On July the 29th, Quan platform's revolutionary VM successfully passed Hacken's audit. So the audit has been completed and it's been passed. And then you can read about it on their X profile. Apparently, Hacken created an AI-powered tool specifically to audit the Quan platform VM. And that's what this article is about. So you can go there and you can read it. It says they say we went beyond traditional methods, combining deep manual analysis, etc., just to audit this VM. So the audit's been passed. This is really exciting. There was kind of big news about it across the web, and as a result, we got a little bit of a pump. Now, the mainnet hasn't been launched yet, so that's really important to note. This is just the audit, so this is kind of like, this needed to happen, didn't it? And so let's have a look at these the charts. And you know, it's a little bit frustrating, is it, for a lot of people who have QANX tokens? They've been waiting for such a long time. Yeah, you get this kind of bullish news and you're like, yes, we're going now, this is it, this is the rocket ship. And then it gets sold into. And what's interesting, so if people are following my analysis, people will know that I have this price discovery channel, midpoints and range. It's from the all-time high to the pivot low here. I divided it by 2 to create this midpoint channel, and then I divided that channel to create these midpoints here. Yeah, and then I've extended that into price discovery on the log scale. Yeah, I've done this for a while. Like, I've had this for a long time, a year probably. When I did one of my first videos on QANX, I just created this idea. And strangely enough, with this pump, the price went right up to that resistance level and it's rejected. So what you're getting is you're getting this level being tested and tested and tested. Yeah, so it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, levels get tested until they get broken, and effectively what happens is the more times you test the level, each time the less people are willing to sell at that level. So it's all about liquidity. You get the first bit of sellers, they buy back in. You get the second bit of sellers, and they're going to buy back in. And then the next time it goes up, and then you get the breakout. You know, like, that's kind of what happens with these levels if you continuously get buying and buying and buying. So that's clearly a level to watch. Clearly, we got a pretty strong rejection, didn't we? And the problem with QANX is that when you get a rejection, it goes down like 28%. Crazy, yeah? The swings are off the charts. But I would say that the volume on the upside is healthy. You've got increasing volume, increasing prices. The sell-off is pretty disastrous, to be honest with you, because you're getting some aggressive market selling, but the volume is decreasing. You see decreasing prices, decreasing volume. So it's not as bad as it looks. It looks terrible, but it's not as bad as it looks. You can clearly see that the buying is healthy. You've got increasing volume, increasing prices, increasing volume, increasing prices. Yeah. And every time the price corrects, you've got decreasing volume. Yeah, so generally speaking, I would say that's healthy. It means there's more accumulation. It's just that you're getting quite heavy swings and it freaks people out. But these are the dips to buy. You know, these are like, if you think about that level which we're going to break, you're getting this price already at 28%, 29% discount from a level that we're going to break, you know, especially once the mainnet gets launched, etc. We're going to rocket ship, you know, and that's the thing. So anyway, that's the level that's kind of hit and rejected off. So I'm just going to have a look at the monthly time frame candles, just have a look at what happened last month. It got a little bit of reversal here. The price went up, took the liquidity, closed right back below previous month high. Let me just zoom in to see how. Yeah, I don't like it, but it's okay. I guess it's okay. If it was higher, it would be better. If it was a higher close, it would be better. But in these situations, you kind of have to imagine it in reverse. Like that. When you're looking at it in reverse and you see that you get this structure and then you get another sell, it actually looks like it wants to go down now, doesn't it? Now, the next month is really important because ideally, not only do we want to go down, we want to go down hard. We want to just drop, don't we? We don't want to just kind of hold support in the inverse aspect of what I'm looking at right now. How does that look? How does that look to you guys? Does that look like it wants to kind of drop and then fall? Who knows? Who knows? So anyway, that's kind of the monthly time frame. Let's have a look at the other candles. 2 month. Yeah, the 2 month. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because again, that 2 month candle closed lower. This one wasn't a full-on reversal, and now we're just kind of trying to figure out what to do. Let's have a look at the 3 month candle. It's kind of still range bound, to be honest with you. That 3 month candle is actually really nice. This red one, you took the liquidity from the lows, you closed above the previous candle low. The price has already gone up to clear the liquidity from the highs. Actually, you're coming back down to the right places where this could be a really nice buy, because that red candle is a nice buy candle. For me, that's a buy candle. I think I said it was the beginning of July, and from the beginning of July it already went up like 45%, and obviously people are taking their profit because that's quite a big increase in value. But ultimately what you need is a break with volume. We haven't had that yet, and I think that's going to happen with the mainnet. We're just waiting for the mainnet to launch. And the other kind of alpha is when you go into the X page. I think the CEO Jonas, he posted something. Let me see if I follow him. I think I probably do. Or Johan. Johan Polesak. What does he say? Today's milestone is the start of a series of continuous upcoming announcements which will hold until Quant Platform Mainnet launch. The real journey just begins. Yeah. This is big, huh? This is really big. Yeah. For a layer one on a multi-year sideways accumulation range. The audit has been completed. It's been passed. And so they're going to do a series of news releases, etc., and then they're going to have a mainnet launch. I don't know what that means. Like, who knows? No one really knows what that means or what that's going to do to this token. No one really knows. Technically, I still think there's levels that we have to break. I've talked about them. I've talked about this kind of equal triangle that we're in. I've talked about this midpoint of the horizontal channel. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably an ABC correction. It's similar to TRVL, which is what I was talking about, TRVL. Yeah, very similar. I guess it goes too far though. I don't like that, so I'm not sure. probably to there. Yeah. Maybe that's better. Don't like the ratios. Unless that's your last impulse there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your last impulse. Let's see, does it go 1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Not financial advice. It's never financial advice. That would put us at the weekend, huh? Shit. It's come down so aggressively. I actually really want it to just go sideways now. Like that. Just no more selling. Don't sell, guys. No more selling. Buy. Oh, fuck, I've got a lot of shit here. What's that? I need to clean my charts, obviously. Again, we couldn't get above that post-ATH VWAP. I'm going to just do the volume again, I guess. Just see where the volume is. God, like every day I do QANX, it gets harder and harder and harder, doesn't it? I get more and more lost. I almost have to spend more time. The point of control is much lower, and then you kind of, yeah, you could go down to the, this is the thing. Even though I wouldn't mind the price to just kind of fall flat here, there's every possibility we go all the way down to the point of control. Yeah, it really is. This is a really strong, I'm not saying it's a strong possibility, but there's no reason why we can't. That's the thing. It would hurt a lot of people though if that happened. It's just underneath the golden pocket, so it's not really nicely aligned as I would have liked, to be honest with you. It's not a great alignment. And then the other thing is, let me have a look at this, and we've lost the anchored VWAP as well from this pivot low, which isn't great either. Yeah, that's not great. So it means all the volume in this kind of accumulation to take the price up is on average underwater, and so that's quite scary for a lot of people who are latecomers and they're just buying in to QANX. This is the that's the anchored VWAP from the launch, and you see what's happened is that we've closed underneath it and we're just here at it. So this is the average volume, this is the average price of all the volume since launch. It's hit this, we're at that price now. This is the average, right? So if you buy now, it's basically you're buying the average price for the whole of the accumulation range. It's above the point of control, but this is the volume weighted average price, so it takes into consideration up and down from the beginning. Slightly different from the point of control here, but you can clearly see that we're at a really strong high volume nodes. You see on this volume profile, you can see we're at, but we're not actually, we're just slightly above it, which is where that red line is. I don't like this drop, huh? I wouldn't mind if we get a little bit of buying or just go sideways for something like that. Again, it looks a little bit like some kind of extended flat type situation, and maybe if we're lucky, like it just sold through the golden pocket, like there was no, didn't even bother. No, and really none of the fibs line up, so I'm not 100%. So it just tells you that this is a really illiquid token, and these dips are really good opportunities for buying, because it's hard to get strong fills with the liquidity at these prices. It's very clear that there aren't many sellers, and so when people start to market buy, the price goes up really fast, really hard. What we do really need to do is get to higher prices, and that changes the dynamic of the liquidity. Right now at these prices, you get like relatively low volume buys and the price slips quite significantly, and so these are dip buying opportunities. It's always possible to go all the way down, and then this invalidates this first move as well. So I don't want to say, I don't really know what's going to happen, but at the moment we're still putting in higher lows on a higher time frame, and we're just coming back to put another higher low potentially, and then we may actually come back all the way to test that trend line that I have. I think it's possible. I don't know why we wouldn't do that, to be honest with you. This one here, that would be the point of control, and the trend line, like really honestly for me, that would be the best buy opportunity in this context, just by looking at the selling pressure, or a little reversal here, and then that's probably correction over. So I'm looking at one of two ideas here. We have a go much further down, another 18%. That's the real buy opportunity. There's no fibs that line up, so probably the golden pocket, probably a little kind of front run, just coming back to here. That's the opportunity really. It's this area at about 2.8 cents, 2.5 to 2.8 cents, and then you kind of want that to hold, and then you want the price to expand up with volume, or you get into a situation where the price kind of just does nothing, grinds down like it's doing here, and then it just goes up like that, and it's just kind of, the selling stops, and then the price just goes up when the market changes again, when BTC starts to pump again. And so people then get really bullish, and you get into a situation possibly here where you end up with a inverse head and shoulders type scenario. If we can put a head here, and then we can break out, couldn't you? And that would look good too, wouldn't it? That would look pretty good if we could create a head here, some kind of inverse head and shoulders type scenario here, as long as we can find support. Now I think this lower price would be really good support, somewhere between 2.5 and 2.8. It's a bit low, but ideally what you want now is the selling to stop and the buying and the reaccumulation to begin. So anyone who's sold into that increase in value, they're starting to reaccumulate now. As long as Bitcoin can find support, then this could be quite a good place to accumulate or reaccumulate or continue to accumulate. But still the strong support is going to be about 2.5, 2.6, just where this point of control is, right? And naturally what happens with QANX is that once the news starts coming out, people start aggressively buying again. Yeah, And that's what you get. You've got all of these like aggressive buying. It's all news related buying, isn't it? It's all news. And so every buying is being sold into at the moment. But that's fine because we're going sideways. We're on a kind of horizontal accumulation range. We're putting in higher lows. We probably need to just put in a higher low here somewhere, go up again, and then like I said, break out. Then we're back into the upper trend line, fourth time. And really, we really need volume to smash us through, really. Otherwise, we don't want to be in a situation where we're kind of back down here, and that would be kind of really painful if by next January we're still here, wouldn't it? And the rest of crypto is pumping. That would be really painful. So this is the moment of truth. It's going to be once we break out from here. We probably will, because you probably get a breakout. You get like a sideways, a flag, and then you get a nice smash through to 20 cents. That's kind of what I'm imagining. And we don't want a rejection there. And we kind of have to see what happens when we get there, right? So this is kind of where we're at. Hopefully we're going to find support somewhere here, and then go right back up to retest that line for some kind of inverse head and shoulders. I'm imagining. And then obviously it will start to look terrible if there's no support and we start going down like that. That's going to be problematic, because then you're taking the lows again. You're going for the lows here. You go for the lows there, then oh my god, it gets really bad really quickly. Yeah. And then everyone who's stuck in this multi-year range is thinking, shit, I've lost all my money. And the next time it goes up, they're selling, you know, and that we don't want that. So whatever happens, we want to maintain the idea of higher lows. Yeah. And I'm only saying that because anything's possible in crypto. I don't expect it. I'm not imagining it. We're still above support lines. We're still showing kind of nice bullish price action. It's just that this last sell-off was a pretty aggressive sell-off, because you got a lot of people selling and trying to fill big orders with market sales, and you're dealing with a very illiquid token, and that's why you're getting these these big swings on these moves. The volume is lower. The whole thing is showing, for me, is showing pretty low volume, and so I want to see high volume. I really do. I'll just kind of hide that. Let's have a look at the volume again. Get rid of this shit. I really like that candle. I don't mind it. I don't mind this. For me, this is looking like a real nice reversal. Last month, the volume was slightly low. It's pretty flat. All in all, you got over this range, you got decreasing volume. The price is kind of going sideways. Yeah, we need more volume. It's really important. I like that volume, those 3 monthly candle red volumes. See, that's pretty high volume, and the price has managed to just stay there. And the price has now gone up to clear the liquidities in the first push up. It's come back down to support. Hopefully we'll hold support and we'll just smash through. And it'll be quite a liquid. And when we do smash through, and this is the thing, people don't realize it, because it's a liquid, when the mainnet launches, this will probably move quite fast, quite quickly. And it could possibly be quite low volume, just because no one is selling and everyone is just aggressively buying. So even though technically I've got relatively good targets like 20 cents and 75 cents, who knows, like you could, depending on the volume, someone could come in and just go, fuck it, $50 million, bam, buy QANX. They could do that. $2 million, but you could get, if it gets, you get a frenzy. If you get a frenzy like that, you could go to much higher really quickly. It will, in the context of the volume and the range, it's still low volume, and so therefore you need to make sure that the volume matches the prices as the price ascends. But if you do get a frenzy like that, you could get crazy breakout. Technicals in that situation, technicals really go out the window, and you'll know by looking at the volume, looking at how aggressive the buying is. If you suddenly get big entities, bigger players, institutions, once the mainnet will start accumulating the token in big stacks, And then obviously the big one would be if we can get other exchanges, and this is key. I think Quan platform needs like the other exchanges to take up this token, and that's really where we're going to get the massive increase in volume and price action. It might be worth holding until that happens, to be honest with you. I was just thinking about it. Maybe that's the best time to sell. Wait for an exchange launch rather than try and be technical about it and try and hit your targets, because you know, another layer one, a quantum resistance layer one, I'm sure you're going to get these exchanges going to pick up on this token. I wouldn't see why not. All right, my time is up. Sorry, I haven't really been crazy helpful. I haven't given much insight. I think this is some kind of ABC corrective type thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Maybe something like that. Maybe. I don't like the timings though. That's really my biggest problem. I mean, the 618 went up, and the 1-to-1 you're looking at Sunday. It's unlikely to. I could bottom out on Sunday at the end of the week, or Wednesday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. I prefer Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and tomorrow. Sunday. Anyway, something like that. If we can go sideways and just kind of teeter here a little bit. I really do prefer tomorrow though. And then again, you've got these harmonics, don't you? So again, you're looking at some kind of, again, it's the same. Because you've taken the high, you're looking at a Cypher, or for this one is actually more, this is more of a, that would be a Cypher. Type Harmonic. And really you come down to the golden pocket, which is to take those lows. Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Kind of front run the point of control. And it would be tomorrow to form that harmonic. It would be tomorrow. Did it take the high? Let me just check. I can't. It's kind of hit and miss, isn't it? Just took it. Yeah, just took it. So yeah, that's just if you get a reaction here of the golden pocket and it comes in tomorrow afternoon, and then if you get a, I mean, we're on the value area low now, so it'd be a little fake out to the lows. If that happened, I'd prefer the price to just not go down and just stay here. Yeah, but let's just say it does. Then you just want it to get right back up into the range like that, and then you want to see some pretty aggressive buying if that happens. If you drop and then you go right back up. If you drop below that line there, but you go right back up after a nice strong reaction, then this would look really good. Yeah. Let's see what happens. It's just an idea. It's not financial advice. Right, that's QANX. I'm doing QANX on Fridays, every Friday, trying to get the word out, trying to tell people about the Quan platform. Why not? I think it's a good project. If you like this video, like, share, appreciate that. Give a comment. come and join my live streams. And obviously anyone from the Quan platform community, you're quite active, so if you want me to do a token for you, just let me know and I will. And I'm trying to kind of expand the reach of my YouTube. And obviously the other thing I'd appreciate, if anyone's like watching my videos on from the Quan platform community, if you haven't subscribed, I'm trying to get my YouTube page to 100,000. I wish 100,000. I'm at 878 subscribers. I basically need 122 more people to hit my first milestone. I really want to do this soon, you know. It helps. It really helps. And especially since I'm doing QANX now every week. So if you can help me, if you can come and subscribe and help me with that, and just, I'll really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. Much love. Thank you, Marv.